Hello. So I have chosen this site due to its location to the pipeline, the oil pipeline, which runs right down here, and that overall connects the oil fields with, well, oil field, the North oil field, which is the biggest one. There is a couple of them. So this is the northern field, so as you can see it's pretty big, and then there's just the eastern field over here, but it's pretty small, so we've not had to exploit that one yet, as this large vast reserve of oil in the northern field is enough for the Republic for now. So yeah, so that oil pipeline runs from here straight the way across past Severna Springs, through the industries, all to Severna, to power the heating plant and a small gas turbine plant, and there is another gas turbine plant just here supplementing the steel mill, as the steel mill obviously draws quite a bit of electricity, so it's just there to stop any brownouts and things. However, as you can see, those are happening at the moment. It is winter. We are coming out of winter now. I have developed the government district, so these buildings are taking quite a bit of power, and I think it is these that have slightly tipped it over. This is the main power plant. It is only at 65%, but when you watch it, it is spiking up quite a bit, and then you've also got the losses in the distribution as well. So I think that we do need to build another plant, and also this one over here, it's quite sort of, it's right at the top of the map essentially, so that was the necessity to build in the two smaller turbine plants here at Severna and here near the steel mill. So it is about time that we put a more centralized power plant in, and also we've got the steel mill here, we've got the advanced industry factories here, so that's the electronics factory, the electronic components factory, the electronics factory, we've got our plastics factory here, and we've also got machine parts workshop there as well, so that's quite a big area of production. And then also we've got the nation's food supply at the moment just here as well, food and clothes. So yes, there's a lot of draw here, and then we've also got meat production just here. So I think a good site for the new power plant should be here, and that way it's right near where there's a lot of use, and also it's right near the Severna as well, the main plaza. So it is winter, so what I'll do, I'll replace these two fields with new ones, just so we've not lost any grain production. I don't really want to build on this bit. I suppose I have. Yeah, I have with the factory, with the food factories anyway, so never mind. Right, so we'll just replace, actually we'll have some more. Now we're building on this bit anyway, so we'll have three fields rather, to replace those two that we have lost. Just make sure that they are assigned. Where's the thing? The field thing. Oh yeah, I am. Right, clicked on the livestock farm. Right, there we go. So we've got some new fields on the go. So there will be no loss to national food production. We want to make it clear to our citizens that we will not be losing any agricultural land. In fact, we are gaining one medium-sized field's worth. Okay, so there's a nice oil tank here, which at the moment is just feeding this heating plant here, and that obviously, as you can see, is connected to the pipeline. How many pipes outlets have I got left there? Nice. These are great. I love them, but is there a way to make it so that once the path's connected, you can still use all of the inputs and outputs? Because it's like an annoying little glitch that it will not let you, if you build the path there, the very far left, I guess, point, or the little arrow becomes unusable if the path is there. It's just it's one of them little things, but you can still rebuild the path after you've built the pipes. So, but still, it's a little bit annoying. All right, so that's our connection. And we're going for, where is it? 1800 meg. Oh, that's coal. So there's our 1700 megawatts. So it's quite a bit of pollution though. But I mean, we could build one of these actually. They're massive, and that'll do the Republic for quite some time. Because that's 6,000 megawatts and it's 26 tons of pollution a year, whereas this one's 1,700 and it's 22 tons of pollution a year. So this one's much better as far as pollution to production goes. So I think we'll go with that one. The Extremis. Wow. I have had this plant a few times, but it always impresses me, the size of the thing. Right, so all those low voltage lines, there's going to be more like development in like that direction, so point it that way. It's going to cost 651,000 rubles, but it's not, because we're going to build it ourselves. Streamers. Oh. Okay. Right, so let's get that built. So this will certainly help with Severna's power issues at the moment. I mean, it's primarily only affecting street lights. The buildings are remaining on, so as they plunge into darkness. But yes, this will be addressed. And once the weather starts getting warmer as well, there'll be less draw on the grid anyway, so that will improve. So I'll just go over the plan for this. It's quite hard to express in videos, that I usually do. I just get a bit nervous talking on microphone, and I find it quite difficult just talking to a room, a quiet room by myself. I get quite paranoid that my neighbours are going to hear me and think, anyway. So I'm going to try and start doing more videos like this, because they're a lot simpler to do, and people do seem to enjoy them more, I guess, because it's a bit more going on. But I do like the sort of infographic-y type things, so I'll try and blend them as much as I can and build up my confidence with talking. So basically what I plan to do is, this area is going to be like the capital of the island, with kind of like the government buildings and universities, big civic buildings all within this bit, and then surrounded by housing up to about here, I think. And then this will be developed into I think kind of like a touristy type area. Not fully decided yet. At some point we will have to develop the oil field over here, because we will just reach those levels, so there will be a new city built here at some point to exploit that oil. And also we have I believe the aluminium is over here as well. So yeah, so the aluminium excuse me, so the aluminium is around here, so we'll probably build a city maybe here, and then that will serve the oil field that's here, and also the bauxite. And then uranium, we've only got a very small supply of it right down here, so there will be a nuclear industry also constructed down here in the southeast of the island. But at the moment, yeah, I just want to get this area developed and underway. I am also trying to save up some money to license some more vehicles, particularly Western trains, because I like the Western trains. So I'm saving up some dollars at the moment for those, so that's why that's just building up. I'm trying not to spend too much money at the moment on any constructions that is unnecessary. I have managed to get us producing most of the resources that we need, not really importing much. Let's just have a look at the economy. So this is also it's all the way from the founding, 23rd of February, and it looks like we have only really just broke even, or we've just made back the money from the initial investment. So I started the game with the easy money setting at 10 million as 10 million rubles, and was it $2 million dollars. So yeah, so we've been in the green or in the black with dollars for quite some time. I tend to spend construction things on rubles because you just have more of that in the game. But the it looks like that amount that we make, yeah, so it's the vehicles that Severna is producing at the moment, because what I am doing is producing Western, but I didn't mean to build this many trucks. I was meaning to build, I was rather building these buses, these Western buses, and then selling them to the Soviet Union. So I do, you're never too short of, you never, run out of a need for covered trucks. So we will just rehome those in the depot here and start producing. No, stop. Yes, stop. Right, let's go back to the bus. Because also the truck that picks up the buses or the vehicles is only set to pick up that bus, so that's why the truck's built up, which I'm quite pleased about, really, because I did want to build some covered hulls, so I would be annoyed if they had all been sold. But yeah, so we had a very good month of vehicle productions last month, and then the month before. So like I said, that has only just gone, really. So let's have a look at our import of resources over time. So the biggest thing we've imported is gravel, which is to be expected with construction, because I tend to build all of my roads and paths and things just from money. So that's why gravel is quite high. So I do build a lot of gravel roads, and then iron, steel, asphalt, concrete. See, so all that's construction stuff, really. So we can, exclude that, but actual things that, you know, I produce. And so there we can see that's food imports, and this will be really high as there was a issue with the water supply to the food factory, so production did stop for a little while, but that has since been resolved, I believe. So hopefully this number should decrease. Crops, there's been the odd import, but most of the time I have been able to maintain my own supply of crops on the island. And let's have a look at the exports. So the biggest thing, the most we've exported is oil. Well, I have slightly adjusted the shipping routes because oil is quite low value, so it's a lot easier just to use that oil to produce fuel and bitumen, which you can then export for much more. So as you can see, there we go. The second most amount is bitumen at 198,000 tons, I assume. And that's it looks like that's one of the highest values as well, which is at 30 million rubles. So you can see how much, you know, the economy you have to import and export, because I've sold all of the, you know, 60 million rubles worth of resources, but we've broke at just 10 million rubles in the bank, due to the back and forth of trade and resources. So I've bought 8 million rubles worth of vehicles, sold 6 million rubles worth of vehicles. Let's have a look at oh wow, there's a lot of people want to visit Severna. 6,000. I mean, that is all, but you know, not a bad amount. So yeah, I might start developing the touristy type area. Look at that. So you can see we've had a nice increase of energy. Also crops, steel, coal, probably importing as much as I'm exporting, pretty much. Mechanical components, see, this is all import, then bam, started producing them myself. Same, pretty much exactly the same line with the electronics, and I imagine it's going to be the same with electronic. Oh, look at that! So I do quite like looking back over the history of, you know, see how far we've come. Okay, so let's have a look at that power plant, how that's going. plant has been built. So welcome back to Severna. So just in other news, the first national security, internal security facility has been built, and these are the cars that the service will be using. They have been made in Severna by Severnan hands using Severnan steel, and now they will help our brave officers of the island security services to conduct their business in a very efficient manner. So there's lots and lots of cars. They're Mercedes-Benzes, licensed from the West at great expense, but only the best for our brave men and women working to keep Severna safe from external threats of rampant neoliberalism. Anyway, so they are now in there at their headquarters at the end of the government plaza next to the courts, and they are now off to do their duty. So yeah, off they all go, doing their thing, keeping Severna safe. It's early days, so any subversive forces within Severna will need to be dealt with swiftly and efficiently. It's been said that anyone who doesn't want to stay on Severna doesn't have to stay in Severna. The forces of capitalism have their tentacles everywhere. Anyway, so the new power plant has now been constructed with Severnan manpower using Severna materials, and will now begin burning Severnan oil as well. So let's get this power plant wired in to the grid now to make sure we are getting the most out of it. See, this plant will be able to last the Republic a while, because it is pretty, it's already powering some of the factories around it, and it's using less than 1%. So we can use this power plant to develop the south side of Severna to balance it out, because I need to start building on this side, or I'm gonna. It's just I've noticed that with this game, to sort of so you don't box yourself in, or end up having to run really weird networks and being an awkward thing and blah blah blah, is to don't get too focused on one area. So get one bit sort of going like this, so it's half ready, and then we're going to start over here next, and build some more food and clothing factories, because as you can see, we are starting to run out of food. All of the shops, actually, they're not looking too good. Oh dear. Why are we really behind on food production? I thought we were making enough to break even, Might have to do it. See if it's got full. I think it's okay. I think it's because I did have a problem with the water supply to the food factory, so I think everything's sort of fallen a bit behind. So I'll keep an eye on it. Why aren't you being fixed? How do I just get them to go to the... Is it out of range? No, it's not out of range. It's not that. Is the van coming to fix this bus? It is just stuck there. Oh, to hell with it. I'll just sell that. Well, no, wait. First, I'll copy the route over to one of like hundreds of other buses that I've got. Pin that in. Start. And just sell that. There we go. Gone. Second-hand market. Right. Well, that's nice. It's night time. I always like doing the electric wires at night because I find that you can see everything better. So yeah, I mean, it's got little supply problems over here, juddering network, but also this power plant should sort that out now. So we'll put in so we'll put this yeah, I think that is a good place to put it. Pop that here. So this, I will use it, so we'll connect this splitter directly to the power plant with the most powerful cable, and then because I use underground cables a lot of the time, so unless, like, you know, the only time I don't use underground cables is if, like, you know, it's something like this, which is like a main power line connecting, you know, far away town or further to, you know, the more built up parts of Severna. So that, yeah, but in a city I always use underground, and so this section here will be used to reinforce the trippy grid in this part of the city, so we'll be using underground cables. So connect your splitter directly to the power plant using the most beefy cables, which are the, how much are they? They're 18 megawatts. Oh, sorry if you can hear a bit of noise in the background. It's just, the 3D printer's just started. So yeah, so connect it to the power plant using the most beefy cable, and then we can split that strong cable up into a few lesser ones. I'm going to use one to connect to this high voltage substation over here, which is a mod. I don't think the high voltage substations are in the game by default, but they are pretty handy. But yeah, they are a mod, so do bear that in mind. If you look on the workshop for high voltage substations, they should come up pretty easily. Right, so we've got that one connected. Now I'm going to do a really big long one that's going to go right along this avenue here. I like, since the last update, underground laying of cables seems to be a lot less problematic. The only problem that still exists is if you've got the end of a cable directly underneath a road, you won't be able to connect it up. It conflicts. Just so you know, just bear that in mind. That it is a bit touch and go sometimes, but you know. So here's actually Severna Old Town. So back before the Second World War, this was you know, relatively big fishing town, but Severna was heavily damaged when a British munitions store exploded on the island and essentially just absolutely obliterated it, destroying most of the infrastructure, but a few buildings did survive. So this building here is the old Severna town hall, so now it is in the shadow of the new Severna. It's like the original hospital, a few parks, a few homes, and the old street layout, and a couple of docks. So for the time being, the development of the island has been more in the north, and I'm going to sort of turn this area into, you know, sort of leisure and tourism area all along here on this side of the island, and expand the capital around here and along here. And then we'll need to start developing over here to get uranium for our nuclear power plants, because I don't want to continue burning oil, and then I want to use in the nuclear power plants to sell power to Western Europe and our friends in the East to have a constant income, and then make our economy less less reliant on oil prices. I mean, we have diversified our exports with it, you know, over time. As you can see, most of the orange bars are later on in time. So, you know, things are changing. We are slowly advancing our economy. I mean, we are able now to make our own trains and vehicles, and ships. I always forget that. So we're going to sell this ship and it will get us 1.7 million rubles. Start building another one straight away. So this is the Sea Link freighters that I'm building. I would keep them, but I simply don't have the export levels to justify it at the moment, so I'm just selling them. So let's get this power connected. So I'm going to put a transformer in somewhere around here. So I want to try and be able to give this part some power and also supply, but I don't want to put it here because obviously they're not the most attractive of buildings, and I think I'm going to go for a smaller one. It's just big. Well, there is one that is smaller, and I always forget which one it is. I always forget to put it in my favourites. No. No. Oh, that'll do. Right. Let's put it here. No. About there. Oh. Alright, put it here. I am actually going to put this over here, so it's not really big, and it just means that I can have some substations over this side without having to run loads of cables. Just delete that back. So just leave that as a dead end for now. Oh, I hate that when there's like something in the way and they just won't go straight. There we go. Off this, the bigger one, we'll pop some more. So we'll put one there next to the heater. Give that high voltage substation some more low voltage wires to feed it. Also connect another line. I think it might need tell you what as well, I'll connect it to the steel mill. Well, split the difference between them. Because that'll take a lot of load off the main grid just by taking the steel mill. Or supporting the steel mill, should I say, rather. Okay, so let's build all that then and see if our flickering lights stop. I mean, they won't do it immediately because obviously we need to wait for everything to be built, so before you all crow. sorry, sewerage pumps and water pumps. They use, probably already noticed this, but they use loads of electric. There's another one there. So if I bring it out into the road, just don't really like it. I mean, I haven't been overly disciplined on this build, but I don't like having like wires crisscrossing everywhere. So you just don't. It's just like it ends up being like spider's web. You just can't like find where anything goes. It makes it really awkward. So, if you can, I would recommend trying to sort of have like lining up your infrastructure more or less, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you sort of know if something's on one bit of the city, it's always going to connect, so everything that comes sort of over this way, or everything that's sewerage sort of always heads that way, it is. So we've increased the usage of that power plant by 300%, up to 3%. But I don't think all those underground cables will be built yet, will they? So they do sometimes take a wee bit of time. No. Okay. So it's all built. Let's have a look at the voltage. Still a bit iffy here. Alright, can I try and give that a bit more juice? That high voltage substation, so that seems to be having a bit of issues at the moment. That bit. Those high voltage substations, they are on mod, so right, yeah, so yeah, looks like that should be alright now. We'll have to wait and see. 4%. Ooh. Steel mill's chugging away nicely. So yeah, let's see what it's like at night. So night is now falling across Severna. We will hopefully see an absence of flickering lights and brownouts. I think as well I'm going to have to build some houses around it. I mean, I have just ordered a few buses coming here to this bus stop because it's not, we're 100 staff less. I mean, I don't think it's an issue, but because they could also work in the food factory because we are a bit behind on that. And look how it's sport mixed waste. What's going on there then? That's all. Seems okay. Let's put a few garbage bins around. Because we are running low on food supplies at the moment, so that'll be the next job, I think. Gonna have to build more food factories. Right, so that's operating again. Yeah, but I've got no food in storage at all. Dun dun dun. Oh, do my eyes deceive me? no flickering lights. So there we go. We have stabilised Severna's grid for now, and in the next video I think I'm going to be expanding the food factory and clothing factory and developing the south side of Severna there. But yeah, looks like the grid is all nice and stabilised. As far as I can see, there are no flickering lights. If you can spot some, do mention in the comments below, but I think we're done. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to see Severna thrive, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Ta-da.